Hi, we've just released version 1.91.build.8, so this is a quick video just to run through some of the features. So the main new feature is in the system builder, and there's a 50% strike rate, low in running strike rate that you can run on every query now. So if we just did quick days of one and ran the system, it'd show us all the results from yesterday, and you can see over here next to the chi we have a 50% strike rate column. So from all yesterday's runners, 43.36 of them went 50% or lower in running. So what you can do on a particular day's racing is, if we reset the filters, you can quickly find horses that have performed with good strike rates at 50% lower. So you do that from the date tab and choose today's date on the calendar and choose use horses, and that'll present by horse automatically. And if we just run that, we'll see all the horses running today, their past number of runs and strike rates, but also the 50% lower in running strike rate, and we can sort by that, and we can see all the 100% ones at the top, but these are mainly when they've not had a lot of runs. So you can use the filter results to filter for, say, a minimum of 5 runs. Run it again, sort by the strike rate, and you can quickly see, so vindication is 5 wins from 5, so it's going to be 100%. But their miskin is no wins from 11, but it's traded lower than 50%, 90.91% of the time. Now you can take this further and then do it to say today's conditions. So we know that Utoxeter, it is heavy. So if we go back to the date tab and tick courses and choose Utoxeter, and then go to the course tab, and in the official go-ins just choose heavy, and we've still got that filter set for 5 runs, so we'll just change that to 3 runs. Run the system, sort by the 50% column, and we can see Tar as well is 1 win from 5 but trades 50% lower 100% of the time. And we can double check this by looking at the low in running odds and double clicking into it, and we can see it's had 1 win, and the other 4 times it was lower than 50%. Bride and Boy is 3 wins from 11, and 72% of the time it's traded 50% lower in heavy ground. And if we double click it, we can see which race it's in, and that's in the 110. Now you could also have run this on yesterday's racing, and yesterday we had Exeter, which was heavy ground. We'll just double check that going to this race. Yep, it was heavy ground. So if we go back to the system builder, we've got all the settings for heavy set on. So if we just untick the course, choose yesterday, tick the course again, and we can choose from the list there. So that's a list of horses now for Exeter on heavy ground that had at least 3 runs, and sorted by the trading percentage. So I'll show you how you can actually look at the results for them quite quickly by using the new data in the today's runners screen. So if we open runners for yesterday's runners, you can see all the new fields are in there now. Now when you first open it after installing, they'll be all at the far end. You'll have to move them along. But once you've got them where you want them, I've added in all of the same fields, plus the pace form and the pace percentages, and you can filter this screen as well. So you could use the filters, like I've got a soft and heavy filter set up, and it'll apply it to this screen as well. And then the same on here, we can look at the 50% low strike rates, but we've also got in there, when you're looking at results, is the finishing positions and the lowest that went to and the percentages that went lower. So you can set some filters and come back in here the next day and have a look and see how they performed. And it uses the colour schemes in the lowest column that are set in the preferences that we went through on the previous video. So I've got it set to show green when it's lower than 50% in running, and plenty of these ones that had high percentages traded. You can use any of the filters in here to filter these today's runner screens. So if I leave it at soft and heavy and change to today, it pulls up all today's runners, and I've got them sorted by 50% low in running strike rate again. And you can see that the finishing positions are not in there because they won't be there until tomorrow's results come in. So this gives you a quick way to go down and check for potential horses to have a look at in further detail. And you can double click them and drop into the race itself, and the filters that you're using are still set. And it's these same percentages that have been dragged through to this today's, tomorrow and yesterday's runner screen. So we go back to the system builder now. What you can also do with this strike rate is start researching potential angles for systems that will pull up horses that are going to be good for trading lower than 50%. So you can do this for anything really. You can look at particular courses. So we could say let's look at chases in, and we'll just do a short period of the last 1 year and just present by course, and let's choose handicaps as well, and that'll pull out all of the last year chases at each course and all the runners and the winners, but also the 50% strike rates. So we can see at Weatherby, for instance, in all the chases, handicap chases in the last year, 55.85% of the runners went below 50%, and that's just across the board in all the chases. So you could begin to narrow that down by just selecting Weatherby, and then you could use the loop buttons to run all the reports. And once these all come up, you can go through each one and look at all the 50% strike rates for all the different angles. And you could run the last time out filters as well. So a good one to look at might be last time out pace. So you can improve on it. If you looked at horses that led last time out in handicap chases today at Weatherby in the last year, nearly 63% of them, which is 3 from 27, traded lower than 50% in running. We can double click and have a look at them particular runners, and to the most recent meetings, last 2 there, fell and pulled up yet still traded a lot lower in running. So this new field in the output allows you to find lots of angles for where horses will trade lower than half the price. So that's just a quick short video about the new features in Build 8.